Hey everybody, it's Jennifer. Welcome to part 2 of the Newport Skinny Tea challenge. I want you real quick to get a pen and some paper, maybe a notebook, because we're going to make a couple lists in this. And I'm going to say again, first of all, I commend you for taking action, making the time to make yourself a priority, and educate yourself and learn more about how you can reach your goals, because that is the purpose of this challenge, is to get you to your goals. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about the next step in developing your ideal scenario from the first lesson. And this one deals with if you tend to start diets or plans or projects and not finish them. So we're going to be right now talking about overcoming habits and changing them. And I want to first say it's normal to have some resistance when you start putting new habits into your life. Start trying to stick to a plan, either someone else's plan or even your plan. We are very naturally inclined to resist authority and to not want to do mandatory things, even when they're things that we've chosen to do. So, one of the things I hear the most often, or see the most often, is that people want immediate results. You know, they want to feel better and look better within the first 24 hours of starting a plan. And that is great. And I will say that having a quick win and starting off in the right direction can keep you moving down the path. But it also can really hurt you in the long run if you continuously do what they call yo-yo diet, or start relying on laxative teas, or you start a cycle of starving and binging. What really tends to happen then is that you start to lose your lean muscle tissue, and that is a serious problem that will hurt you in the long run. It will make it impossible to lose weight when you get older, because muscle is just so important in your metabolism. It is what uses calories, obviously, while you work out, but even just to preserve itself, it uses a ton more calories than the fat does, because it is a metabolically active tissue. So I want you to kind of look at your metabolism as an engine. And I want you to look at this issue that you're having with your engine that isn't working quite right as a mechanic. And I want you to try to detach yourself a little bit from the emotion that you have tied up in how you look and feel and what that means in the world. As we saw in the first session, you are choosing the path that you're on. And I want you to keep that in mind. I want you to keep that vision you had of the two paths that you're choosing between. And the reason you want to right now fix your metabolism is so over the long term, over those 5 years, it will be a reliable engine for you and not something that constantly breaks down that you constantly need to fix. So the issues that we're going to figure out for you aren't all internal, aren't all like a literal engine. They're in the engine that is running you, basically. So your habits. Your habits are what foods you're putting into your mouth, how much you're moving your body, the thoughts you're thinking, and the environment that you're surrounding yourself with. And right now, what I want you to do is figure out, well, how we're going to figure this out is the obstacles that are keeping you from reaching your goal. So the first thing we need to know is to put some numbers to your goal. How will you know that you have achieved that vision that you saw in lesson 1? Is it a certain weight? Is it a certain feeling? Is it how you look in the mirror? So here's an example of what you can write. And I want you to state these in the positive. I want to fit into my size 6 shorts by April. I want to like the way I look in the mirror. I want to exercise 3 times per week and eat 1,500 calories of healthy foods per day and have energy that lasts all day. I want to feel great every day. I want to get 8 hours of rest per night. And it's even better if you can take the want out of there and state them as if they are actually happening. But that's another step we'll get to. So you can just write it as a want right now, or you can write it in the positive tense. But I want you to notice that we're not talking about things that we are stopping doing, not doing, losing, or can't have. Only positive statements for what you want to achieve. The clearer and more specific you make them, the easier it is for your mind to grasp them and move towards them. So that's our first list. And you can pause this if you need more time. Just go ahead, and then when you're ready, push play again. The second list I want you to make is every obstacle that you can possibly think of that is standing between you and reaching those goals. So take one sentence at a time and just do a massive dump of everything your mind comes up with. Every single excuse, every single problem, limitation, anything you could say, so you want to exercise 3 times per week, but you have no time, you have no money, nobody watches the kids, you feel too sick, you're too tired, that you have no way to get to the gym, or it's snowing all the time. Anything you can think of that will keep you from that goal. And you can pause it again and write the list if you need to. And then if you want to, while you're doing that, leave some space under each one, or you can make a third list where you take on the third list, we're going to take each and every obstacle that we list. And this is a little bit time intensive. I think you could pretty easily make these 3 lists in 20 to 30 minutes, but you do have to take some time. And I want you to make a huge list of ways to overcome each obstacle. And this we're going to call our massive action plan. Now, you are not going to do everything on this last list, but it will help you to see and to start to think about how you can see solutions to problems and not just how you can see problems, because most people love to find the problem, find the excuse not to do something, and then they stop there. So what you're going to be training yourself to do is find ways to overcome your obstacles. So if the list becomes long, that's great. Once you have the list, once you have your massive action plan, go back through, and I want you to identify any solutions that came up that you really think could work for you. It's best if you can find at least one solution for every problem you listed, but you might not have one right now. Just the fact that you're telling your mind to work on this will activate a part of your mind that will begin to look for solutions, and that is what we want. So star the solutions that you think might work for you, and figure out if they're actual viable solutions. and figure out if you can put them in your calendar, or if you can make them work, and try to be as creative as possible. As you move, once you tell your brain, this is my goal and this is where I want to go and this is how we're getting there. Those are two things that the brain loves. The brain loves specifics that it can actually achieve, and that there is a certain plan or a way to get there. And it will more easily guide you on your path. So that's it for today. That's a lot. If you get it done quickly, then maybe set it aside for a minute and go back through it later as you have a little bit of time to let your mind kind of work on it. It's also a great thing to do to read over your list of obstacles right before bed if you're stuck on something, and ask your mind, it sounds weird, but ask your mind to come up with some solutions while you're sleeping. And then, right when you get up in the morning, check to see if it found a way that you hadn't thought of before. Hope that helps. I will be talking to you soon. Thank you.